Max,
Yep.
should Kentucky be satisfied with this job that Calipari did with the team this year?
Nope. And look, Calipari's a great coach and a great recruiter, and he practically invented one and done, right? But, you got to go from that to 3-and-D. That's the way the game is right now. It's the way you win. And at the pros and really at any level. Look, he's missed out on the space and the pace and space, right? Like, that's not the kind of team he recruits. And partly that's because he is such a great recruiter that he's recruiting, and what does that mean? You're recruiting? It means you're recruiting the best athletes usually who play the game. And at that stage out of high school, many of them are not yet efficient shooters. They will get to be better shooters, but many of the best high school recruits aren't great shooters. And in a one-and-done situation, what you wind up with is not only young players, but young players who don't shoot the ball particularly well, particularly when Duke is good at recruiting some of those guys. And so Calipari, I think, was out-recruited by Duke, and then maybe again this upcoming season. And the kind of players he gets don't fit into the kind of game that he needs to be able to play with one-and-dones. And I say all this understanding that I am holding him not to the standard of a normal coach, because he's not a normal coach. He's a great coach. I'm holding him, including to the recruiting standards, to Calipari standards, to the standards you expect from him. The kind of guys he gets and the kind of coach he is, he will make noise every year. You'll look at Kentucky and go, oh, they're live every year. But the difference between that and actually winning, given the style of play, given the length of commitments, is different. And he may have to tweak a little bit what he's doing.
Max, I'll tell you one thing. You are so far off, it's absolutely ridiculous. First of all, he's been to 4 Final Fours, 2 championship games. Every single freshman class has its own identity, and that's what coaching is, putting those guys in position to play to their strengths. Is he disappointed? He's disappointed that his team didn't win. But you know what? You've got to look at what he did with this basketball team. He took the youngest team in college basketball. In the middle of the season, we didn't even know they were going to make the NCAA tournament. All right, and all of a sudden, at the end of the season, we're expecting them to get to the Final Four with that basically in the bracket they were in. But it has nothing to do with style of play, because the thing about John Calipari is each and every year, he changes his style of play.
Yep.
He fits his system to his personnel. Look at the development of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Look at the development of Kevin Knox, shot faking and put it on the floor. It's hard to get to the Final Four every year. By the way, we've seen Duke go out in the first round. We've seen Kansas go out in the first and second round. UCLA hasn't been to the Final Four in forever. Those schools have a pretty good history. Indiana, by the way, they've got a good tradition. They've changed coaches, and that guy's had pretty good success. So I think what happens is expectation gets unrealistic. Getting to the Final Four is not that easy. Are they disappointed? Sure, those Kentucky fans are disappointed. Is Cal disappointed? Without a doubt. But let's not talk about the system and the style of play and all those cliches, space and pace, 3D players and all that BS. Because you know what? That's a bunch of BS. You take the team you have, you recruit players that you think can fit, that will play hard, that want to come to Kentucky, that have a dream of being one and done, that have a chance to get to the league, and then you figure out a system to put them in position to be successful. This year he did that, maybe not at the level, because he played a Kansas State team that was tougher, more mature, and you know what? It was just not their day. But when we say, like, the system, come on, enough of the system stuff,
Okay,
please.
go ahead.